So given just the nature of the draft and the fact that a lot of flex champions are not available, very excited to see where that comes, because we're seeing the Cannon, for example, the most viable blind pick top laner banned away, and we're really getting into the dregs of some of these solo lane picks.
Yeah, and especially the top lane here, they're really whittling down on this.
Stories around the world in playoffs, Zeros versus Khan, and Khan definitely, he's going to have some great moments trading early, but as it feels like we always say in every Fiora matchup, that 2-item plus breakpoint, she's going to be looking happy.
She's going to be looking happy indeed, and I do like the matchup. Most of Hecarim's tools that are hard CC are quite telegraphed. For Rek'Sai, it's a bit harder at any point that Flash Light could happen. That outplay is difficult, but welcome to Summoner's Rift, our fourth game of the day. SK Telecom T1, the champions out of South Korea, a region that you expect year over year to bring the best teams into League of Legends. And 2018 was not that, and now the start of 2019, a stumble in game one, but the ability to bounce back. They've got 2 more games today, including that showdown with Invictus.
A differing win condition, because it can be so topsy-turvy as the game goes along.
Oh, interesting early game right here. The actual early trades help Zeros a lot. Gets to get the extra grasp HP, plus the trade itself is better, so even pushing Clid back, second Q gives him another +5 health. So very early game, Zeros is objectively winning.
He's already establishing dominance, alluding to the fact that later on he can vision there, easily seen. But on the top side, Zeros goes very close to Khan.
He's got to respect the fact that Ignite could be available, and of course, Rek'Sai nearby as well. And I did walk over a ward. They do know Rek'Sai is top river, but it means a force recall out. Now the attempt for the bottom side. Good flash away from Mata, stays alive. The 3v2 gets a summoner out, but otherwise an escape out of PVB.
Yeah, you can see Elise there trying to...
Of course, no Elise is there. The controller went down, but you see Khan push away. Nice on! That should be enough. Oh, he gets it vital. The heal might be enough. He's burning, but he'll stay alive. And there's no escape tools. Hecarim could not get out unless Zeros gives him the option to. They're going to have good damage out of the bite. The electrocute tags. One more hit will do it. The flash gets the stun. Does grab first blood for Phong Vũ Buffalo. Now Clint gonna flash forward as well. The vital is here. There's some good damage. Does he have the trade? Can he find the second? It's close. The health bar's below 100 each, but he's got to watch out for the Prey Seeker. Another grasp. The minion to grab both kills.
And this is the top lane action that we like here, Papa Smithy. The only thing the Fiora has to worry about early is the Ignite true damage for the all-in from Hecarim. And you can see Khan there goes for it. As Freak said, though, the small vital in addition to the potion chugging there is enough to keep Zeros alive long enough. And so they are going to secure the first blood, but Elise already used Repel and already flashed forward to finish that. So Clid can answer with his own flash.
And he does so much burst damage. Remember, this is Hail of Blades on the Rek'Sai. We've seen much more Conqueror recently. And means the front-ended burst is enough, and Zeros, the minion aggro, takes him down.
We already know the Korean teams are good about mid. PVB's on a ward as well. A good knockup towards one. Plenty of CC coming in. Pallet just barely staying alive. Just back to his teammate. Over the wall goes Rek'Sai, but Clid's a bit alone on this one. Still the blast cone out. PVB slinking away with their lives. Looks like health bar lead goes to the Koreans.
Yeah, I mean, that was some fancy...
On the Elise back, Elise not in any position to come and contest. It will be Ocean Drake first spawn, a pretty high value Ocean Drake given that Corki, Hecarim, and Ezreal are all going to be spamming.
We'll wait to see that one come out a little bit later on. Now we've got a fight towards that top side as Clid looks for when the knock will come in. Does not get her posted. Plenty of damage comes out here, and that ain't even immune to the turret shot. That's going to be a great dive. 1 for 0 again. Top is going to help a little bit, but the red buff is on. If Shuhao can get into range, looking for this one, repels forward. Well, he's going to auto attack, but over the wall goes Faker, and he's going to stay alive, running both summoners. Now into the bottom side as well, looking for that root. Not going to find much of anything. Just damage towards Teddy, and he can't quite get that kill as Ignite times out, and Mata keeps running, puts on the shield, and PVB cannot buy a kill.
Yeah, we're fighting all over the map. It's inches keeping people away. Khan and Zeros, of course, they're going to continue brawling.
Yeah, for another vital to land. Ignite comes in as well. Riposte again. It's like gets the fear afterwards, and it forces the flash out of Zeros, so they know Clid can't hold back in. Just gets it now, though. This is pretty good damage, but he's under the turret once again. Stays alive with the healing. Not going to go for another Q right there, and Zeros will survive this fight.
All 3 lanes of action here, and again, they bring us very... Oh, there we go. Another tower dive.
He's got the package. Riposte comes in time, but won't find a stun. He gets off to the side anyway. At least immunes the dive, but this is how much pressure there is topside. Fiora not getting off the launching pad.
And Kobe, both our eyes went to that Executioner's Calling, because the only reason not to build Trinity Force and teamfight better as a champion who's going to be staying away from the lane in the late game and wanting to teamfight more is to keep attacking top lane replay onto one of these turret dives.
Yeah, look how close this actually was. So Clid does get the initial knockup Khan saves the burst damage for after the riposte, which is essential. Then, as he comes, both the Faker Summoner spells. That's why those wards are so important. But MSI!
Well, a flash into the charm, a bit of a knock up there as well, but they just simply can't find any of these kills. Health bar's a little bit low, and now under the turret. Round 2 repels away. He's got to watch out for turret aggro. Can't get to the chickens just yet, but he's got spiders. He's just fine. A dive in the mid lane does work out for Phong Vũ Buffalo.
So they do return to the mid lane. After burning both of Faker Summoners, they finally cash in on the kill, but SKT want to answer on top side. That's going to destroy the turret.
They are happy to play around Khan. There is no chance this turret lives. First turret plus the plates, lots of pressure here, and you can see Zeros knows that, of course, they can dive him afterwards, goes for the wave, but now in a 1v2, fights off against Glid, gets knocked up yet again, puts the ult down, has to immune that, does so, gets the heal, but the fear knocks him out of it, and SKT has the damage in the 2.
No, they won't, actually. Teddy's coming over to run him off.
Moments, Kobe.
We are still fighting. They're not always kills. This one just might be. Matza does not have flash. They put the ignite on him as well, burning through the shield. They might just have the damage. Feathers fly, and a kill comes through. Big Coral makes it a third for Phong Vũ Buffalo. Now Teddy fights against shields as well, jumps to the wall. One more shot can get him, and it's going to be Big Coral walking up with his size block.
That turret goes down. Faker, we got our confirmation, never went Hexstring, but did try to build that Trinity Force. Doesn't have the shield. If he had the shield, it would have been at least one more turret shot.
Of course, with time and a lot of champions on both teams who could really use that extra scaling, but Coral getting pushed around and down to 200 HP. Another Mystic Shot will kill him. Oh. And he has to back off. He didn't want to burn ult from that one. That means a lot of turret pressure here.
Flank here from Pallet on the Recon coming down the river, but they don't have much to back at flank up.
No.
Determines so much for how the mid game is going to go. If SKT can finish off these turrets and get that vision control, it is going to be a very scary situation for PVB to face check.
And just as we
still want to fight for this one, you mentioned that being a very important crux here in this. If they can be fought for, and so far it's a bit equal.
Well, keep in mind, the bottom turret just went down, and the teleport for Hecarim is ready. So now SKT, they close their grasp on the Infernal Drake. They will secure this extra damage for the late game, and their pathway is clear.
And for PVB, in Kobe, you need a vision lead somewhere. You need a reason for someone to walk.
They're just going to go with the flash shield. Everything going to try to chunk down Matza. And at some point, there's got to be a route, but Clit's coming around as well. Elise might come in for a little bit more. Looks like the damage can't find that just yet, but here comes the Rek'Sai. Big damage for Clit on a rampage now for the 5
He's
kill.
a monster.
Looking for yet another double kill on the pallet. One traded back now for Ezreal, and now Fiora has to do all of it, but still 2 vitals left up. Can't find the target. Flashing in for it. Finally gets a kill on the board, but this team fight is 4-1 already. Clit getting 3 to himself, SKT just smashing.
Clit is insane. 6-0 on the Rek'Sai. We like to see the junglers getting the credit that they deserve, and he's got the bounty on his head to prove it.
He just knows his limits. He knows he can launch into the backline 1v3, and then with just damage being... Watch the replay of this play. They didn't look for the setup. They just said, we got a control wall. Let's start it. It's now or never. They had a lot of damage on Tamada, but look at what Clit was considering when he flashed in on first 2 and eventually 3.
Yep, gonna use the ultimate here. Takes down the AD carry first, then turns on his lover, and Pallet goes down. Now, I thought it was gonna get a little bit dicey, but Mata comes in, gonna sacrifice himself, takes the Rek'Sai up the river a little bit, then they get the knock-up, finish off the last kill.
2019, as more and more of these turrets fall down to 6 already, only inhibitors and their defenders stand alive now.
And this type of strong performance from SK Telecom only goes to further build the hype for their matchup with IG later today. Right now, they are knocking at the doors with Baron buff, whittling down all of the inhibitor turrets at once.
Bottom lane about to drop. There is Fig continuing his PvE pushing, doing very well with that. Great farm, great XP, and killing more of the structures. Mid lane maybe next on the chopping block, down to about 1/4 health there. And as soon as the auto attacks come in, that might be going down soon enough. Phong Vũ Buffalo, I don't know when they can make their defense actually happen. Still at 80 seconds on that Baron buff.
Yeah, I think honestly their best shot was the play that they tried to pull off in the mid lane. If it wasn't for that exhaust from Mata on Big Koro during the CC exchange, then they might have been able to get that kill and find a way back in. But now it's SK Telecom just closing their grasp.
Absolutely. PVB are paying for the sins of the past. Right now, 3 lanes pushing in. Only Xayah has relevant wave clear from Sable.
This poke is landing, and this is going to be the end of the turret.
Exactly. With only the I's to be dotted and the T's to be crossed, you start casting your mind forward, Kobe. We've got SKT versus IG as the final game of the day, and SKT in much improved form in this PVB series.
No ult's sort of committed there, just the poke. Null gets mauled off that top turret. This one's gonna fall right away. Just in case needed, it demolishes there. Chunk down it goes. Killer credit goes to Mata. And the final inhibitor gonna drop. We're not even 26 minutes in just yet, and the base is completely in shambles. Supers hitting Nexus turrets already. This is their second siege after Baron's already gone. SKT have gone all out for this one, and this could be the final push. This is the last desperate attempt for Phong Vũ Buffalo if they can find some kind of opening from a catastrophic gold deficit. Zero's already chunked to about 2/3 HP already, and SKT just waiting for the next minion wave.
Yeah, all they have to do is play patiently, stay inside the base, keep up the pressure here, and now we're going for the Nexus turrets.
Well, the E has been pulled to one less wave for Tool available as the turrets still get dropped down below half HP. Now on both of them, looking at more chunks coming back and forth. Still, you got the Hecarim waiting around. When does Khan want to go in? Not just yet, but still pushing in these waves. Still getting the poke, pushing PVB lower and lower, saying you have to go in first. A nice trade of ults, a great dodge by Big Cora, pops the heal. Zeros now low as well. SKT still can just wait for another wave. His turret gets hit and is almost down. And here's the next round of supers, and it's now the open Nexus at 26:30. And SKT say, you know what? We've got Baron in 25 seconds. We'll cross those T's one more time. We know we can wait for one last neutral. The flash in!
Got
and
it!
He gets it! Null makes a huge play. Some money coming into the pockets.
That one was from downtown. That one buys them a full reset, a bit of gold, some experience, the dream of a hope. Not often when you say negligence in League of Legends, that's an understatement, but they have 3 inhibitors down, another Infernal spawning.
Oh!
And then now you got more problems.
And Faker's on the board with his first kill. Looking for the second, flashing over the root, a double kill. Almost by himself now is, oh, poor Shuhao has to run away, but he's smited, he's been knocked up, and one last auto will kill him. The Prey Seeker doing just that as well. The fear, he's gonna have the swipe. Oh, the minions, oh, they might do it as well, and he gets on the fountain.
Khan, what are
he's
you
gonna
doing?
try, and Khan gets the shutdown just for good measure. The Nexus drops a bit of spice for the ace, and SK Telecom pick up their second win of MSI.
Khan decides he wants to win in style. He knows his next opponent, the Shy, will be watching from the back. Everyone around the world looking for SKT to answer what is a pretty indifferent performance on day one of MSI. Their answer, it was pretty damn clear.
Emphatic here from SK Telecom to open up their day. Their first game here, definitely taken care of in style. And that answer about top lane questionability, that was most people's question mark for this new iteration of SKT. You know, with all of these names added to the roster, would Khan actually be the one that will be able to match up when they meet up with the very best teams, like in